Good morning. This is the Lightwalker's Path podcast. I'm Rosemary Detrolio, and I'm your guide. This is a place to find your soul's purpose, hear enlightened conversation, and hear inspiring guests like today's guest, Michelle Henderson.
Good
Welcome,
morning.
Michelle.
I am looking so forward to our conversation.
Me too. We were chatting that we do have a lot in common. So I was a third grade teacher, and tell me what grade you taught.
Oh, I absolutely fell in love with fourth grade.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
yes,
And were you in the Texas school system that in when you were teaching fourth grade as
yes,
well?
yes. I was in the public. And the reason why I love fourth grade is because we taught Texas history, which I
Okay.
absolutely love, and then writing.
I
And I,
love that. I love
oh,
that. That's my thing too.
yes, yes. And I just love to see the creativity that the fourth graders had. They were
Yes.
also independent, but not independent at the same time.
Right. Right. They're still little kids, but they
Yes,
still have that thing. So when I know that you and I both love to write, and you've published a book as well, right? What's the name of the
yes.
book that you have published?
Well, I've got several, but one of them is Sarah's journey, spiritual journey with Jesus, and the other one is it, embracing. Oh my gosh, you would think I would know it
That's okay.
automatically.
I do the same thing.
Spiritual embracing psychic children.
I love that. I
Yes,
love that.
yes. And you can tell it's early in the morning. My brain doesn't really wake up until 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny you say that because because I channel the angelic realm, as soon as I get up, that's the time when I channel because my
Yes,
brain isn't kicked into thinking mode. It's more like receiving.
right.
And that's been always the time for me as well. And even when I write, the mornings work really well for me. I'll go, my
Yes.
computer and I'll start writing. I have three spiritual books and I guess 11 published in all. But my three spiritual books were all like little bits of information that I just collected till I was ready. And then the angel said, go publish this.
Yes.
So, yeah. So tell me,
It-
tell me about your experiences with psychic kids, because I've had the same being a teacher. We kind
right,
of can find them or see them. So what are
right.
some of your experiences with psychic children?
Oh my goodness.
Discovered.
So, yeah, and being in the school system, and I think a lot of educators are empaths. And I think a
Mm,
lot of us are intuitiveness too.
absolutely.
So, I found out early in my life that I was very intuitive, but
Mm-hmm.
I found out real early too to not talk about it.
Yes,
I'd
I
always
get it.
say, yeah, I've got that gut feeling, not intuitiveness.
That's right.
So I just knew working with children, and there's two ways you can look at it: either a collectiveness, the whole classroom, or
Mm-hmm.
individual children.
Yes.
So, and it's so interesting how when it was a full moon, the children would be bouncing off the walls. Even though I
I saw that. I had the same experience. Or before a snowstorm, when
yes,
things would just change in the atmosphere.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
Yes.
but anytime I was in IEP meetings, I knew
Yes.
exactly what the child would need, not only academically, but also emotionally,
Yes.
and also working with the parents because the parents, have the strong energy because they're the advocate for their child. I
Yes.
would know exactly what they needed,
To
not
hear.
yeah, not to hear, but not meaning that I was trying to manipulate the situation. I just knew how to handle the situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that kind of way. And then when I worked with autism, I was also a
Oh.
behavior analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that really, ooh, the
Those
sensory
kids,
and the
yeah, they're
energy.
high spirit, right?
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
anytime a child would have a meltdown, as we
Mhm.
say, I would use my energy and I would also telepathically say it's going to be okay.
Right.
And that would really help calm them down. So
I
that's how I
I
used
get
a
it.
lot of that intuitiveness.
I love that. It's so similar to my experience. I've had kids with, high functioning autism. They used
Yes,
to call it Asperger's, but it's probably
yes,
just high functioning autism.
right.
But they're energetically very differently wired.
Mhm.
And they're also high spiritual souls that came in and they couldn't ground themselves properly. So the same, like my boss would walk in the room, she'd go, "Oh my God, your kids are so zen," you know? And he's like, "What'd you do to the kids? They're so zen." And like usually half of my class had learning disabilities or ADHD or IEPs. And it's just like the energy that you put out in the room because the kids that are like, have those different things, they could read
Yeah,
energy really easily. And that's kind of how they function through reading energy. So
absolutely. Oh,
that's
absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
Yes.
So you made a leap into, as I did, we have these other gifts. You made a leap into shamanism. So my question is, did you study with like a native person? Did you just delve into this yourself? Like, how did you come to that shamanism that you're doing now?
Oh, I love that question. Yes, so and I'll make it really short. So first of all, coming into the spiritual world and
Hmm.
becoming a spiritual teacher in itself was very difficult for me because I
Hmm.
live in a very conservative community.
Yes.
And right when I started retiring, I just felt drawn to the spiritual world.
Yeah.
It's like I need to do more. I need to help more.
Yes, exactly. I get it.
And my husband, I told my husband this, he said, "Oh, absolutely." So, I started taking those classes, how to really tune in with your gift, how to
Hmm.
accept your gift, how to
Hmm.
come out of the closet as a psychic medium.
Yes. Hmm.
And so I thought, okay, so I'm rock and rolling. I'm feeling really good about it. I got my skills. And then my spiritual teacher said, "We are organizing a group to become psychic shamanistas,
Hmm.
and it's working with plant medicine."
Oh,
And
yes.
and I'm going, why am I being pulled to this?
That's
Because
cool.
I've only drank wine. I've never done anything else. I'm going, why? But plant medicine is not it's not a drug. It is what it's called,
It's
plant
amazing.
medicine.
Yes.
And so the first time I knew that, this is meant for me, I did a lot of healing. And so that's how I've been able to work more with energy. And I
Hmm.
feel like my psychic and mediumship have just shot out the roof.
Hmm.
And it's almost now that I'm being pulled to help people, not by telling them answers, because a lot of
Yeah.
people will seek us for answers,
Seek a
but to
man.
help
Yes.
help them find the answers inside themselves.
Seek a man. Teach a man to fish. Right.
Yes,
Don't give him the fish
absolutely.
from the Bible. Hmm.
Absolutely. So that's where, so I'm still in that phase of learning because we're still meeting and we're talking about it and I'm still learning. And so that's why right now I'm not doing any readings or anything until it's like I'm being
Yeah.
reset.
You're being reset.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's happening for a lot of us. We're getting the flow of new advanced
hmm,
energy coming in to shift us so we can
absolutely.
help people. So when you were talking about plant medicine, so my question is, I've been, a couple of my clients have done awakasa. I can't. I would say,
Grandmother, what?
yeah, I can't say the word. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about, though.
yes, yeah, grandmother
It's
Waska.
yeah. Is that anything you've experienced or
Yes,
have been thinking about?
yes. No, I have experienced that,
Okay,
and
so
other
I
plant
think
medicine. Yeah,
That's what I thought. So that's
yeah.
super cool. And my question is, I know that like my clients were telling me how they had to have like a lot of preparation before that happened. Did you do this in Texas? Did you go to Costa Rica? I know there's places like there's one in Florida. Did you go to a certain location to do this to be properly prepared?
Yeah, so yeah, I love that you said Costa Rica because I admire those people that go there.
Yeah.
I am not the humidity, the jungle. No, okay, so the plant medicine person that does our retreats, she's got trained through a shaman. And
Okay.
she's got shaman in her blood, but it's not like what you see on TV. She's just
Yeah.
an absolutely, I don't want to say normal person
Normal,
because,
but yeah.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't know that she was a shaman. And absolutely beautiful. But no, it's here in the United States that we meet,
Okay.
and we meet in different places
I
because
gotcha.
each place has different energy.
Yes, like portals.
And yes, and this lady actually, one of her home, she has bought a farmhouse
Okay.
and has a teepee.
Okay.
And so and that was absolutely beautiful.
That's super cool. So, can I ask some of the experiences that you had when you were experiencing that? Did it show you? things you needed to clear? Did it show you psychic gifts? What was some of the highlights that you're willing to share about that
Oh,
experience if you would like
absolutely.
to?
Oh, absolutely. And I will tell you too, whenever, because a lot of people go, well, is it the plant medicine, making you hallucinate? And my answer is no, because
Hmm.
everybody has visions that they need to help heal.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, if you decide to do it, do not resist. Because
Yeah.
when you resist it, the plant medicine, first of all, is not as effective because you're
Hmm.
resisting, and plus it makes it hard. And the
Yeah.
very first time I went in, I was so fearful. I'm going, I don't know
Yeah.
what to expect. I am so afraid. And they're going, oh, you'll be fine. You won't get sick or anything. And well, I was sick for 6 hours.
Yeah. Most
Because
people I've heard do get sick from it. Yeah.
yes. Well, and you do afterwards, but the first time is the worst, I think. And you're really healing, and you're because of all your trauma is in your cells. And
Yes.
so, and I could feel the medicine going through my body, and I knew that it had found something else to help heal me. It's like a grandmother just really helping you. But to
Yeah.
answer your question, yes. So I had to get some healing first, and then the knowledge just started pouring in.
Oh, I'm getting chills.
Yeah. So and the first time again, I think was so much more powerful, and the others were too because I was shown more and more. But the first time it was mainly about me. It wasn't ancient knowledge that I was
Yeah.
receiving later. But I was able to go out into the universe, to the ethos, and I was
Huh.
able to see a sun, which was the divine
The
God,
divine.
and things floating
Yeah.
around it. And but that's all they would let me see right now. And then when I was coming back into my body, well, I also saw a grid and then Earth on the other side of the grid. And I went through, and it was like I was being pulled back slowly. And then once I entered my body, I saw myself as a baby.
Huh.
So I was in the womb. It's almost like you are reborn again.
Isn't that
You
neat?
have been healed, yes. And so I just
Oh.
felt so much love. But throughout that, each time I've gotten more and more visions, and my channeling picked up. I had Jesus come to me,
Oh.
um, with who we'll call Sarah, and he said, Sarah and I want you to channel her story. So
Oh, I'm
that's
getting
where,
chills.
yeah, the book
Mhm.
came from. And so and they asked permission, and I said absolutely.
Yes.
And so yeah, so I was able to channel this book. And when people go, well, are you sure you channeled it? It's like, well, some of the things that were in the book, I had to break a lot of belief system because
Yeah.
I mean, at one time I said, I don't really believe in this. I don't want to,
Yeah.
but then I thought, this is not my story. This is Sarah's
Yes.
story.
Yes.
But ever since then, I've really had a lot of ancient knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been in the quantum field.
Mm-hmm.
So the medicine just, and I said, yes, I want to explore more. And I actually got to see a different realm where it's taking you through different steps.
Right.
Where the first
Okay.
step is developing energy and codes and everything coming into a soul. Then the next level is sound. So this is where the frequency is coming from.
Right.
Everybody has different frequency. Then the
Yes.
next level, I was able to see a gold pool, and I could hear people talking at the same
Huh?
time. I didn't see it, but I could hear them talking. And the gold pool with a mantis, praying mantis,
Okay.
being and writing stories for this soul.
Oh, I
And
love
so it's
that.
almost like the revolution of where we come from.
I love that.
So, and I could go on forever, but that's the
That's
main things I've
so
seen so
cool.
far. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. My first experience, I channeled back in 1993, and I had said a prayer to God, and I said, "Listen, there's something that you've been giving me dreams I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is." So I sat at my computer and I said the Our Father prayer, going to being a good Catholic girl, right?
Oh, right.
And all of a sudden, I got a searing heat through my head and down through the bottom of my feet, and I
Yes.
felt somebody behind me, and I knew it was an angel, and it was
Oh, yeah.
Uriel actually.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was
Yeah.
told to put my hands on the keyboard and just allow. And I channeled my first message, and then after that, I hit it like, what am I going to do with this? And my girlfriend brought me to a meditation day, and I was told to bring it, and I'd be guided to the right person. And I was there, and there happened to be a minister sitting, and I didn't know he was a minister. I handed it to him. I said, "Could you read this and tell me what it is?" And he told me it was Uriel, and it was, light and dark, and there's like this inner hidden war going on for souls, and that I was one of the light workers that's supposed to shift people. And that's kind of how it started with my channeling. And then, of course, when I learned Reiki back in '97, that was another way that kind of pushed me forward to the mission that I knew I came here to do. So my question is, through this experience, do you now have an understanding that our souls repeat or not? Is that anything that has come to you?
If our, I'm sorry, if our
That
souls,
our souls repeat? Do you have any belief or understanding? I do. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I knew I was here before, like when I was
oh,
really little.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I want to also say that, say, you did not need plant medicine to keep you going, in
Right.
your spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Whereas, so a lot of people don't need plant medicine to do it. I needed the plant medicine to help me break down those barriers where you
Yeah.
did not. So good for you.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yes, so yes, I totally agree that our souls are not finished on this earth through one lifetime. We
Mm-hmm.
are all here to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And many times we don't learn the lesson as we know.
Right.
And we have to
Whack.
come and we have to come back. And that's actually a good thing
Mm-hmm.
because we're still learning and for some reason we didn't learn it in one lifetime. So we're coming back and going, "Oh, yeah, so maybe I need to learn something else with it."
Mm.
And I think you do. You progress. You are part of the divine learning,
Yes.
and we're all learning in this collective.
I
And
love
each
that.
one of us, like
Mm-hmm.
if we're trying to learn forgiveness, and we're quite not there, then yes, we'll come back and relearn it all over again from maybe a different perspective and
Yes.
a different.
Another body, another ego.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, I totally and I think too, once we I don't know why I feel like I need to tell this at this time, but once we get through the evolution and we've learned what we need to, then we become a teacher on the other side.
Oh,
We
I like a
become the
guide, like a
support.
spirit, high spirit guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally believe that. When I channeled, well, I've channeled for a long time, but one of the things they told me is that God is like an ocean of energy, and each droplet is poured into each soul for that lifetime. And your job is to take that piece of soul and bring more light to it. And then when you go, you gift this soul energy back to God. It becomes part of the collective.
Yes.
So that's some of the information I've gleaned from it. And also, again, we'll come back with family groups playing different family positions to learn compassion from that other person's viewpoint. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You get to feel. And that's where the Akashic records, I believe,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Everything goes into there.
That's right. And I read those as too, like when I channel for people, I read those Akashic record fields and I can see like where their gifts or blocks are. And it's cool. When I was 8 years old, I had a dream and I was in the record room on the other side. And it was a big library and they floated me up and I saw all these scrolls and books and I was able to take one out and I opened it and I heard God's voice saying, when you're an adult, you're going to be able to read these. And I had no idea what that meant when I was a kid. And I said, okay. I said, will you help me? And I got, it is done. So I put the book back. I'm getting chilies right now. And I didn't think about it till after I was channeling as an adult. I'm like, whoa, I'm reading those records, It was so cool.
Oh, absolutely. And and don't you know, as a child, you're going, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. I
Did
just knew
the
it was something. I knew it
yeah,
was real and it was God,
you're
but
right, right.
I didn't know what I was supposed to be called to do.
Did the light kind of come up? I mean, as an adult, did you go, oh, I remember that? Now
Yeah.
this is makes sense.
It's a dream that stayed with me. So like when you get those special dream visits, it's not just a dream, but it's actually authentic. They also showed me heaven and what we call hell. And I
Right,
was told that hell is not necessarily a permanent place, but where a soul will go when it's too stubborn to accept light. And
right.
I showed these people with the bull heads, and I was holding a guide's hand, and they brought me through, and they said these people were so stubborn that they didn't accept God's light. As soon as they do, we'll pull them through, and we'll bring them through the tunnel, and they'll meet God.
Mm,
And it's their choice. It's basically free will, the system of free
right,
will. So
right.
I thought
Oh,
that was
wow.
That was super cool. Okay, so children with psychic ability. So I know I've had this experience too, where you can kind of know a kid just knows stuff.
Mhm.
What's one of the experiences that might have stayed with you from some of these kids that you know have psychic abilities, or it could be from someone you've worked with as a shaman with a
Right,
child with these
right.
abilities?
What I really thought of is the child that cries all the time,
That
that
has
is
what?
very emotional.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't know why they're crying, and it's because I feel like they're feeling everybody else's emotions,
Yes.
and they're very sensitive, and they don't know
Empaths.
why they're crying. I mean, their friends would, bring this child to me on the playground. She's crying and she
Yes.
doesn't know
Yes.
why.
Think he's feeling Johnny's sadness. That's why. That was me.
Yes, yes. But have worked with several parents that also with the younger ones that are just like a radar. And the number one question is this thing evil? Should
Right.
I be afraid of
It's
this?
from God, it's not evil. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
children's souls are from God.
Oh, absolutely.
We all are.
Yeah, and I think what it is too from these parents, because they cannot see, they cannot feel the same way that their child does. It
Right.
becomes fearful because they are there to protect their child. And
Yes.
so we kind of walk through, I always say, well, who is the child talking to? And a lot
Yeah.
of times I will tap into who they're talking to and
Yes.
explain it to the parent and what they can do to support the child,
Yes.
not to be afraid of it.
Yes. That's
Yes.
true. And I find too, like, you know, I had one parent that came to me, their child was seeing, it was actually ghost energy in the home. And I said, you know what, you've got to seal your home, clear it with sage, say
Mhm.
a prayer, even have a priest in and bless the walls if you need to. Have your child cleared with intention
Mhm.
and prayer. And then teach your child that they can say no, or I don't want to, you have, it's permission based. So you don't want to allow
Yes.
something in that may be not crossed over yet because
Mhm.
that could influence you. But again,
Yes.
it's when something approaches you with fear, the recourse is to bring light to it and say, you have no power over me. And that's what people don't understand, that we have power in this realm. And the power is to send light and prayer. And if it's not supposed to be there, it won't be there because you're not interesting enough. It'll go to somebody else.
I totally agree. And I love that exactly what you explained about the house because it does give the parent empowerment. It
Yes.
makes them feel, yes, I can help my child, where
Yes.
before they felt fearful, but now they feel like they're in control.
That's it. That's
So,
important. Do you do
yes.
house clearings as well?
Now I do over the internet. I don't make home visits, but I
Mm-hmm.
can do it over the internet.
Yeah. I can usually
Yeah.
go past a building and know if there's stuck energy. Like there was ghosts in one building I had gone to, and I had pointed, said there's three ghosts upstairs. And I didn't know. It just I was feeling
Right.
it. So I talked to the owner, and apparently there was three ghosts stuck upstairs on the third level. I'm like, I don't clear ghosts, I don't do that, but maybe you should have somebody in that wants to clear them out of here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I know. I always, and I love this, especially antique stores.
Oh
Oh my
yes.
gosh. And it's like you walk to where it is. It's like, okay,
You could feel it.
yes.
Yes, there's an antique store in our town, a town over, and I had gone in there, and I'm like, I was talking to the owner. I said, "There's a hat in the corner of that room on the corner. There's a woman that's hanging around with that hat." And she started laughing. She goes, "Everybody tells us that that corner feels weird." I'm
Oh,
like, "Yeah,
wow.
because she's there. She's with the hat."
Yes, yes, absolutely,
Oh, that's funny.
absolutely.
That's why I
Yes.
sage anything that I bring into the house or in my office that has been either in a used store, antique store, because it holds energy. So, just to clear it, I don't want to
Oh,
bring any friends
absolutely.
in.
Right, right, right. No, I agree. Yeah, and
Yeah,
especially, and hopefully somebody who's listening that buys antiques, you need to do that
absolutely.
as
Yeah, no
well.
antiques go in my house unless I've cleared them. I even
Right.
had an old Bible at one point years ago, and I know it was somehow it had some sort of energy attached with it. So I don't know how it was used because Bibles have, God in them. That's not never
Right.
bad. But I
Right.
had this like feeling there was something with it. So I donated it somewhere, but I blessed it first and then
Yes.
donated
Oh,
it.
there you go.
Yeah, because normally a Bible would never have anything attached, but I just
Right.
felt like maybe who someone owned it and they put their energy on it. I don't know. It was very strange.
Yeah, very well could be.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to ask you about, and this is something that I've come to know, you have to be careful, people have to be careful with what they align with. So if
Mhm.
you go to a healer, you go to someone, you have to know what they're aligned with. And if you're making a contract like, I'm going to give up my free will to la 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 la, and you're not using sacred divine, Jesus, God, or the energy of the light, you could be aligning with something that you don't even know you're doing.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's any experience that you've had, but I always say, it's a part of protection is knowing what you're aligning with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think you need to, whenever you get into this type of business,
Yeah.
spirituality should come along with it.
Yes.
Because like you said, because a lot of teenagers, if they're very open and they're not spiritual, they don't have
Yes.
church on the side either, and they don't have that
Yes.
influence, they will go into the darks,
They
that
will.
lower energy because they can feel it. And
Yes.
so I haven't myself experienced it. I've made a contract with God. I do not want to see the
Me
lower
too.
energies. I
Me
do not
too.
want to work there. And
Yes,
so I think the intention really brings, like you said, the angels in.
it does.
And it does, and you don't have to be religious. It just means that
No.
need to know there is love and light, and you
Yes.
can go either way.
Love that. Yes.
But so I've never experienced it. That's why when you talked about going into like haunted homes that are
Yeah.
active, I don't do that.
I
I
don't
stay
like
away from
that.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
intentionally do it. That's for sure.
No, no, no. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't do any of the haunted because it is a lower
It's a
energy.
lower vibration.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too. I've heard if you don't lower your energy, you will not see them or feel them. If you keep it up higher, then they're there, but you don't totally feel them because you're not accepting that
Your
frequency.
energy field and the protection is the prayer and the light. One of the things that happened to me, I walked into a building, I didn't know it was haunted, but apparently something ran out and slammed the door as soon as I went in because my energy was so discordant with this negative energy. And the guy said, "Oh yeah, we had a ghost in this building." Well, it left as soon as I walked in because it didn't like my positive energy, I guess. But I've had experiences like that in the past where my light was stronger than whatever was in there, and it didn't want to be near me, which was a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't want anything attaching, so I always say,
No.
God keep me centered and clear.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So when did you leave education and start your journey as a shaman?
Oh my gosh. So I left. It's so interesting how the timeline is because it's always the perfect time. So I actually, I continued to use my intuitiveness while working, but whenever I retired, it was right before COVID.
Uh-huh.
I know, isn't
Okay.
that interesting? Right before
Lucky you,
COVID.
right? Yeah.
And so during COVID, that's where I got online and I took courses.
Yeah.
And for 9 months, I was with the same group and got certified through this teacher. And
Mhm.
so and I saw my peeps, and there's nothing else to do, so we got really close.
Yes.
And so I thought I could actually be comfortable and talk about it. And
Yes.
but but I will tell you, I thought I'm going to go on Facebook Live. I'm going to try to make people happy, do readings because I
Yeah.
want to bring hope. And
Uh-huh.
so I make a business page, good for me, whatever. And I go live and I realize I'm on my personal page. And,
Oh.
and I wasn't out of the closet yet. And I thought, well,
Oh,
there's one way. So I can't, I thought, you know what? It happened for a reason. I'm going to continue. I just felt like I
yes.
can. And I did. And that's how I came out of the closet as a psychic medium.
Yeah, they
And
kicked your butt. They kicked you right out into the light. That's what they did.
yes, they did. Yes, they
They're like,
said,
we
you're
don't want to
not
wait on
hiding.
you.
And what's interesting, I had two or three people call me from not only my friends, but my church said,
Oh,
how
yeah.
cool is this? And I want a reading right now.
That's so cool. It's really strange. I did a talk about angels, and I'm selling my angel book at one of the churches in a town a while from here. And I did it 2 years in a row. The third year, they said, we don't want you here. And I'm like, why? And apparently, one of the women got into the young pastor's ear, and she's telling him that this was the work of the devil. And so I talked to him and I said, I said, if I'm praying to God and I'm working with God's light, how could it be something that's fearful? I said, you work for God, don't you? He said, yes. I said, do you pray? He goes, yes. I said, so do I. I said, do you ask for protection? Yes, so do I. Well, then how can it be something that's negative or dark if we're working for the same person, work for the same energy, so to speak?
Right.
But he was so fearful. And I said, listen, I don't want to cause fear or distress with you. I will not do the event this year, but I just want you to consider that God works through many of us in different ways. And I left it at
Absolutely.
that. And it's something I never would have had courage to even stand up for myself and do years ago. But I'm like, I was so guided. Like I had to tell this guy
Mhm.
this for whatever reason, you know?
Right, right. Well, good
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, and that's exactly where I came from is I think why the plant medicine really helped me is breaking through those chains of fear that I
Yeah.
had growing up,
Yes.
and through religion experiences. Um,
Yes.
and but at the same time I'm very thankful for them because that was kind of
Gives
like,
you the base.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And where I came from, so I'm very proud of the fact I came from there. And I've kind of grown since then.
Absolutely. You know, there's so much fear related to like some of the training. Like as a kid, I remember going to Catholic training for communion when I was about 7, and the nun would tell us that God burns you in hell if you sin. And I raised my hand because I knew it was wrong, right? And I raised my hand and I said, Sister, I said, God loves everybody. How can you say that God would hurt anybody? All you have to do is love God. And she was so PO'd at me. She screamed at me, and I sat down. I started to cry, but I also knew I was right. So thank God she didn't push me off my path. But that was my first experience, like sticking my neck out and getting slammed for
Wow.
it.
But good for you.
So
You were a bold child.
but I wasn't. I was so shy. I would never talk. I was so quiet and so obedient. And so I just thought I had to give her the right answer because I knew in my heart that she was not right. You know, and the lady wasn't a happy camper either. She had this like scowl on her face all the time. So I knew she wasn't aligned with like that feeling of that God loved her.
Mhm.
So, you know, I figured, well, let me just tell her, you know.
Right,
But it
right.
shut me
Oh my
down till I
gosh.
was in my 30s, and I was finally
Oh
able
no.
to you know to go back on my path and tell people. So yeah,
Right.
it's a journey.
Yes, it is a journey, and
It's
everybody has a different journey to go on.
absolutely. Okay, so when you were talking about Sarah, because I want to just come back
Yes.
to that for a minute. What are
Yes.
some of the messages? Was it just her lifetime you had to tell, or was there a specific message from her lifetime that you had to bring forth?
Okay, so there are several different messages in there, and people always say, "Well, should I read it for the real? I mean, like it's that it actually happened?"
Yeah,
And the answer is not if it's not lining up with what you believe in. But
resonating.
look at
Yeah.
it as historical fiction. Look at the message of what she's showing you.
Yes.
So the number one thing was saying that Jesus was pure love
Yes.
and that she was able to be his feminine energy to be support. So he didn't do this by himself.
Right.
He did have the love for her. And but what she teaches is Christ consciousness, and that is what Jesus taught as well.
Say it again.
Christ
Oh,
consciousness.
Christ consciousness.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Like the
And
Essenes. Yeah.
yes, yeah. And so she said the three elements that she wanted to teach was that number one element of Christ consciousness is to know your truth, know who you are, not what
Yes.
everybody else thinks you are, but
So
who you
authentic.
are,
Yeah.
and to open up your heart. That is your foundation.
Yes.
The second one is once you find your truth, that is where all that knowledge comes in. God will start giving you that ancient knowledge that you need to continue on your spiritual path.
Mm-hmm.
And so you start integrating this ancient knowledge into your life so that other people may learn from you as well.
Love that.
And
Mm-hmm.
then the third one is love. And this is where we want divine love. And this is where you find unconditional forgiveness. And this is
Mm-hmm.
very difficult for a lot of people, not
Mm-hmm.
only to forgive others, but forgive yourself as well
Mm-hmm.
and know that you are here for a purpose. With all three of those, it makes a triangle, and
Mm-hmm.
with this triangle is the most strongest foundation on earth, just like the pyramids.
The pyramid. Yes.
But to come to find out, which I did not realize when I was writing this, and I won't to give too much away from the book, but Jesus reset and some other galactic beings reset time. So, okay, they like reset, and she actually became Jesus' spiritual wife, which is Mary Magdalene.
I was going to ask you about that. Mary
Yes,
Magdalene. Yeah.
yes.
Very
So and so that's what her story is all about is how she
interesting.
became Mary Magdalene and some of the things that Jesus taught around the campfire.
Tell me the name of that book.
Okay. And see, it's right behind me, right there. Sarah's
Beautiful.
spiritual journey with Jesus.
Spiritual Journey with Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
And
And
this picture,
is it on Amazon, Michelle?
it is on Amazon.
Okay. Spiritual Journey with Jesus. Cool.
Right. And it talks about the divine love and that Jesus was needing a female counterpart
Yeah.
because of his male energy and it became one.
Yin and yang. Yeah.
Yes. And I absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
That's
my
beautiful.
last, and just to tell you one more thing,
Yeah.
my last plant journey, what, and it was incredible in the teepee. I actually received some of her essence into
Oh,
my soul. It was like a soul integration. So that
yes.
when I channel now, I don't channel like how I used to, closing my eyes and doing the trance channel. Is she's right there and I can just speak.
Very cool. Do you
Yeah.
see spirit at all? Or do you see like your guides or angels? Or is it just more
Oh,
mind in your mind?
okay. It's more okay. So without medicine, it's in my mind.
Got it.
With medicine, I can actually see other people's essence. I
Oh,
can
I
see
love
their
that.
souls. I
Yeah.
can look at their face and it morphs, and I can
Yeah.
see who they actually are without their human suit.
I had that happen once or twice, and it freaked me out, but in a cool
Yes.
way. There was one guide somebody was following that I knew, and I was getting like, you shouldn't be following that person. And
Oh,
when I looked at their face on the internet, all of a sudden a like shaman's mask went through, but it was a dark shaman. It wasn't someone working for the light. And I felt it like pass over the guy's face. And I'm like, wow, So that was the one experience. Another one I had a client that was not emotionally and mentally well, and they had the skull cross over their face. So I knew that they were not in a good place.
right. And that will tell you. But yes, it is kind of scary at first because you're going,
Yeah, like
okay.
what am I seeing?
And then
Yeah,
I realized I'm actually seeing who they are.
they're
And
in
so
their
a lot of
soul.
people that we're taking the course with, I was able to see her, and she was actually such not a Native American, but one of those ancient.
Yes,
And it was incredible to see.
that's super cool. Do you have one past life that is strongest for you that you recall
Oh, I love
in your
that.
journeying?
Yes, and it keeps popping up. Now I've seen several lives, and I'm going, oh, I can't believe I was that person, But you've got to
Yeah,
remember, we're all the
we're
same.
all a mix. Yeah.
But yes, so one lifetime I was actually shown where my light language came from,
Oh, that's cool.
and so I had a name Medora, and a light being on a different planet, totally light, and she wears a blue suit. And I say she, me.
I just
Uh,
got Venus for you.
Oh, really? Yeah. She
Yeah.
wears a blue suit with
Mm-hmm.
crystals, with little crystals.
Yeah.
And she goes into this cave, this crystal cave with a stream going through, and there's a group of the same beings around, and they get the light going up to heal planets.
Love that.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you got Venus, huh?
I got Venus, like a quick thing of Venus coming in, but it's the energy of the love from the planet. Like it's the love energy is what I got.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
one night I woke up and I had all these beings around my room, with light, and my soul went up and they put me in like a sound thing, and they all started hitting tuning forks, and they were around my
Oh,
body, and then I was told that they were there to help humanity raise, but that was like I don't know, 15 years ago maybe.
wow. Wow, that's
20 years
incredible.
ago, I don't know. I've had some strange dreams, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. But
Okay.
that's one I just keep having and I love. Yeah, there are other dreams that, are past lives that I'm going, oh, okay. I hopefully
Yes.
learned it.
Yes, I've had that too. And they say if you don't learn it, it repeats in a different
Yeah.
face, different place,
Right.
different lesson. So I just hope I get it right this time. That's all I can
Yes, I
say.
know.
I'm trying. I'm doing. Okay. What are some of your self-care things that you do for clearing yourself at times when you've either been working with people or you need a
Mhm.
reset? What are some of your practices that you like to do?
Yeah, anytime when I was at the Holistic Fair and I would do reading after reading after reading and being
Mm,
in the environment, I take a salt bath immediately when I get
that's
home.
mine. That's my go-to.
That
Epsom salt.
water, and it's wonderful. It
Me too.
clears that energy. And
Yeah.
then yoga.
Okay.
Love yoga
Mm-hmm.
because of the clearing and the just the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of exercise and meditation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to very meditation
Uplifting.
music. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, being outside.
Yeah, those are mine too. Boy, I wish you lived here in New Jersey. We'd take a walk.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm actually in a pretty rural area of New Jersey, so there's lots of trees, there's animals around. It's
Oh,
not like you think when you go to the Newark Airport and you see the crappy city around you. It's really
right.
beautiful here. We've got the Appalachian Trail about 10 minutes away, that goes up to Georgia. Yeah, it's really
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Are there any last words that you would like to share that I haven't mentioned?
Yes, what really comes to mind if you're listening to this is really, just like the first, find your truth. Know who you are. That is your birthright.
Yes.
A lot of people are afraid of it, and it's like, don't be afraid. And the number one question everybody has is, why am I here?
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing
Purpose.
that you have to answer for yourself because all the answers are inside you.
That's right. God hides it where you don't look, right under your nose, right?
Yes.
Love that. Okay, so Michelle, people can reach you. Yeah, I know that you're setting up a new page, but they can probably find you right now on maybe LinkedIn or where else can they find you?
Well, I actually have a website so
Okay,
that I kept it open so that people can still reach me there.
okay.
Because it's mainly my books, but I'll be adding
All
things.
right, okay.
So it's www.themichellehenderson.com.
TheMichelleHenderson.com. Cool. All right. Thank you so much. It's been such a joy and pleasure to talk to
Oh,
you. I
absolutely.
made a new
Thank you.
friend today. I'm so excited. Okay, and this has been the Lightwalker's Path. And you can subscribe to my show and look up Michelle as well. Learn more about my workshops, sessions, one-to-one courses, and books at rosemaryd.com. Thank you. You're a blessing and a light. Thanks, Michelle.